Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. I am coming on this morning after there's something that's been on my mind the last couple days, and it kind of got reinforced to where it was like, okay, God must really want me to do a video on this because it's been on my mind, but then certain things were happening in conversations and songs coming on Pandora that were reminding me of this topic, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video about that. So this morning I woke up and I was like, yeah, let me hurry up and do a video on this before I get to work for the day, because I'm gonna end up getting busy and then I won't do it. Hi guys, welcome. So a couple days ago, I, Carrie and I were having a conversation, and we were talking about when we were dating. And Carrie talked about his intentions. He talked about how, very early on in meeting me, he was thinking about the future. He was thinking about the future. He was seeing the future, making plans, right? Knowing in the timeline in his mind of where this was going, where we were going. And it got me to thinking about, and I've already known this, guys, but I've never really done a video about it. And then I got busy and I was like, I'm going to do a video about that, but I got busy and I'm like, okay, I'll circle back around. And then yesterday I went to my lash appointment, and good morning, Glenda. Hi, sweetheart. And then I'm sitting getting my lashes done, and on her Pandora station, that song by Usher and Wale comes on, and it's talking about, I've been making plans. If it's a question of my heart, you've got it. If it's a question of my love, you've got it. But he says, I've been making plans. And I literally was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do a video about this. And then one of my best friends, she calls me and giving me an update. We haven't got together because of everything going on with quarantine and everything. We haven't gotten together for brunch or anything, and so we really haven't caught up. And she's talking to a new man, not a new man, kind of someone she knew from when she was younger. And she was talking about how he is like so serious. Like, she's like, Rebecca, he's talking about marriage. He's talking about honeymoon. He's talking about engagement. He's talking about, the whole enchilada. And she's like, okay, wait a minute. Like, we've reconnected from someone who was in her childhood or someone she knew for, most of her life, but they kind of reconnected through social media. And it's just kind of, he's just going there, after not a really long period of time, he's really going there. And so it reinforced this topic again. He's got plans for you. He's making plans for you. Now, the question is, what plans is he making for you? Because here's the key. Ladies, this is a video for you. When a man meets you, he puts you into a category pretty quickly of what his intentions are. And women don't really realize this, right? They're just kind of going along with things and getting to know him. And, and if you're really into him, you're imagining, forever, or walking down the aisle, marrying him, whatever. But you have to understand that men are putting you into a category very quickly. Men who meet the woman that they are wanting to marry, they know that pretty quickly. They're gonna, in their mind, they're like, oh, shoot, there goes wifey, right? This is, yeah, like, she don't know. I'll mess around and change your last name, honey, like Chris Brown, right? In the song, you gonna make me mess around and change your last name, sweetheart, because, ooh, you got it, right? Remember the song with Chris Brown and Drake? You got it. She got it. But on the flip side of that, ladies, men also know pretty early on if they're just planning to screw, if they're just planning to be friends with benefits, if you are, the friend, the forever, or the buddy, F buddy, right? They're putting you into one of those three categories pretty quickly. And so, and then, just like someone just mentioned, as they're getting to know you, some of, I'll put it this way. It's easier to be downgraded than upgraded. I'll put it that way. A man very rarely is going to meet a woman and make up his mind about her that, she all right. She's cool to kick it. We can be friends. We can be buddies. She can be my freak. She can be, we can be friends and freaks, but it's not my forever. He'll make up his mind about that very early on. Now, is it easy to upgrade out of that category when he's made up his mind about that from the very early on in the beginning? No, it's not. Pretty much that's what it's going to be when he's made up his mind off of first impressions, first decisions. You just don't do it for him like that, but he will stick around for the fringe benefits of the freak and the friend, right? But a lot of the time a woman doesn't know that. Esno says, men too much. Stop giving away the game, right? Well, listen, guys, I'm on here to help women. I know the men are on the channel, but I'm talking to you ladies. I need you to hear me. So when he's made up his mind that from the very beginning, very early on, like, oh my God, she's the one. She's the one. She's it. Oh my God. You as ladies, this is what we do. We could be just standing in the kitchen having a conversation and you don't know he's looking at you and he's got plans. He's got plans. He's literally imagining forever with you and you just sitting here having a conversation about something, whatever, or you're only on your fourth or fifth date, but you don't know. He's already got plans in his mind where it's forever plans with you and you just don't know that, right? But like I say, on the flip side, guys, it's not like once he makes up his mind. And ladies, how do you know what his intentions are? How do you know? Actions. This is how you're going to know. It doesn't matter what his mouth says because men also know how to string women along to get you to play the freak or the friend game with him, to string you along to be getting the benefits of you when he already knows you're not his forever. He already knows he has no intentions whatsoever of marrying you or planning to commit to you or be with you forever. However, if you stop listening to their words, if you stop listening to because men understand that women fall in love with what they hear. They know the right things to say to get you to open up your heart, to get you to be into them. They know what to do. However, the flip side is that you've got to judge a man by his actions. You've got to judge a man by his consistency. You have to judge a man by literally the rhythm of the relationship, the rhythm of communication. Is he breaking communication? Is he not consistent in his actions towards you? Are his words saying one thing, but his actions are telling you something different, right? Does he disappear? It just without any explanation, does he disappear on you? Does he break the pattern, right? You're getting to know him. You think everything's going great. He's talking like it's so good, like, oh, you are everything. But yet his actions show you, because listen to me when I say this. When a man has forever intentions towards you, forever intentions, he's not going to do anything to jeopardize you breaking him off, cutting him off. So this is where the consistency comes in. This is where the availability comes in. This is where dates and consistency around seeing you, responding to you, communicating with you, planning things. This is where that consistency comes in, because he's not trying to jeopardize you saying, this isn't working for me. I can't do this. I'm not feeling it. He's not trying to hear that from you. He's not trying to hear that from you. So what does he do? He's consistent. He does whatever he has to do to keep you becoming more engaged, right? To keep you coming back for more, to keep you, committing and going further down, because like I said, he's got plans. Now, what if his plans for you are the freaky friend? What if his plans are the freaky friend? What are his actions going to look like if all his intentions is to sleep with you, have company, entertainment, support, friend, all the fringe benefits that women will give a man even when they're not committed? What do his actions look like? He doesn't really care if he ticks you off or you catch an attitude. He doesn't really care. He's not trying to explain himself. If he's been out with another woman and he wasn't responding to your phone calls, or he had another woman over his house that weekend and he pretended like, oh, he went on a trip with his boys, he was really gone with a woman, or another woman was at his house. He's not trying to explain that to you. He doesn't make a lot of excuses. He's okay if you walk away. Now, when sex is involved, he could be doing just enough to keep the sex on board, right? However, is he doing the things that here's how you know when a man has already put you into the friend or the freaky friend category. He doesn't reassure you of what it is, where it's going, or his intentions. He doesn't reassure you. He doesn't make any explanations. He doesn't explain anything to you. He doesn't even excuse any behavior. Literally, this is how you know when a man has no intentions towards you. None, because he's not worried about what you think. He's not worried about you walking away. As a matter of fact, he's already given it a timetable in his mind of what he's getting from you. So by the time you're literally like fed up, he already knew you were going to walk away. He was waiting for you to get to the point. Where you literally was like, forget this, I'm over it. He's a dog, he's a player, he's this, he's that. And he's not necessarily that. I mean, I'm not talking about good and bad men. That's not what this conversation is about. Ladies, what I need you to understand is that a man makes up his mind very quickly when he meets you what category he's putting you in. And listen, this is where women go sideways on this. They don't get it. Because if he has put you into the friend or freak category, right, and you don't realize it, you could be thinking you're dating him and that this is going somewhere. And the whole time it's not. And this is how women get hurt, right? This is how women feel like men are dogs, men are players, men are this. No, at the end of the day, you have to understand men. And the man, because first of all, there's not going to be a whole lot of these like forever intentioned men. There's not going to be, you're talking about, literally, it's rare. In your dating experiences, the reason you get so frustrated, ladies, in your dating experience is because out of all the men that you date, it is going to be such a tiny, small percentage of men that are really looking at you as their forever. There's not going to be a lot of them. There's not going to be a lot of them. In your dating experience, I don't care if you meet 100 men and go on 100 dates. At the end of the day, it's going to be 2%. You're lucky if 2 out of 100 are looking at you and saying, oh my God, I would marry her. Oh my God, I can see forever with her. And that's why women get so frustrated in the dating experience, because at the end of the day, this is what dating is. This is what dating is. Dating is literally, right? Dating is literally meeting people until you find it's mutual. And finding that person is literally rare. Because think about this, ladies, you know how when you're dating someone and you're really into somebody, but he's not quite as into you? Or he's really into you, but you're not really quite into him like he's into you? And this goes back and forth until you actually meet someone that it's mutual. So some of you guys are gonna have to go remove. Yeah. So until you meet the really truly mutual, compatible, mutually interested, mutually intentional, mutual, right? until you meet someone that it's mutual. You're going to be doing this back and forth where a man is seeing you as the freaky friend, potential freak, potential friend, and then you're looking at him like, "Oh my God, he could be the one." And then vice versa, you're looking at him like, "He all right, he's cool, but he's all into you." Right? At the end of the day, it's rare. It's rare until you meet your Carrie Pope, until you meet your soulmate, until you meet that person that's just right for you and it's mutual. You're going to have this back and forth. But what I want women to understand is that a man makes up his mind very quickly, very quickly. And listen, this is why it's important for you to be literally vetting and qualifying these men early on before you're catching feelings. Definitely vet and qualify. Because at the end of the day, if you jump in bed with somebody, if you jump into bed with someone and you're catching feelings and you're thinking he could be the one, sweetheart, at the end of the day, he could have known by the second date or the first phone call or just looking at a picture of you that this ain't it. Mike said, women are the choosers. Here's where I will say, Mike, women are the choosers of who they'll date and who they'll entertain, but men are the choosers on who they'll marry. So this message is about distinguishing the difference between dating somebody who's got serious intentions and really feels that way about you and can see you as forever, or the man who's just playing with you. That's what I'm talking about, is the difference between those two scenarios. Because at the end of the day, he's already made up his mind. He's already made up his mind. And it's up to you, ladies. That's right. Andre says within the first 48 hours, we know. First 48 hours. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you, ladies, is that you have to understand that men make up their minds quick, because they're so visual, right? Because because they have a type. They have things that do it for them. A man knows what he needs. Right? I had a guy friend years ago. He loved women that had a certain look. And he already knew. He's like, "Rebecca, you know me. I'm not going to commit to somebody who doesn't look like this in this range, right? In this range." Because that's what does it for him. He already knows, I can't commit to someone who's a size 2 when I love a curvy size 10. And vice versa. You may be pretty, you may be cool, fun, you may even be sexy, but you know what? He'll sleep with you, he'll entertain you, he'll have fun with you. But right, you're getting friend zoned because you don't really do it for him like that. And it's not about the fact, oh, you're not pretty or you're not sexy. You're not his kind of pretty. You're not his kind of sexy. You don't do it for him, right? And women tend to internalize this and take it so personal. This is what I learned when I was dating, guys. I learned that, hey, you have to be someone's type. You have to do it for them. I met a guy, really cool guy, and I'll never forget, when you date enough that you get these experiences, that you build this experience and knowledge and IQ level around men and dating. But it takes having dating experience and learning men to understand this. And you don't take it personal. I went on a couple dates with this man, okay? And girls, I know what it is when a man's crazy about me. When a man is like really, really into you, you're gonna know it. If you dated enough, you're gonna know it. And I really, really liked him. I really, really liked him. I was really interested in him. But I could tell by his actions that he wasn't into me. Not like that. Interested, yes. Invested? No. He was interested. He would have taken whatever I offered. He enjoyed my company. He would have slept with me if I would have put that on the table. But was he really, really into me? Was I really his cup of tea? Did I really light his fire? No, I didn't. And I continued to be cool with him to the point that he relaxed enough around me that he would answer questions or whatever I wanted to know because we became more like friends, right? And so literally one day I was like, oh, you showed me a picture of your ex-wife before. And then I remember that you dated this other girl I knew, and she kind of looked like your ex-wife, right? She looked like your ex-wife. And literally, he was like, yeah, and he showed me another picture of another lady that he was interested in. And literally, when I say he had a type, I'm talking about a type. High yellow, they had like little freckles, like kind of like Latina, right? Like curly hair, very light skin, like real bright, right? Freckles, curly, like Latina or mixed hair. All three of the women that he had been in love with, I'm talking about head over heels in love with, looked like that. Looked like that. And I was like, that's why I knew you weren't so into me. You liked me. You liked our conversation, right? You liked us being cool. You enjoyed our time together. You enjoyed our friendship. But were you really into me personally? And did you see forever with me? No, he did not. And I caught on to that very early on, which is what saves me. It saved me from getting my feelings hurt or getting my heart broke. Because imagine if I hadn't have been aware enough early on in that dating process, you guys, right? Imagine if I didn't have the insight and the discernment, there you go, discernment to take a step back and say, he's not into me the way I'm into him. I just don't do it for him. And what if I hadn't pulled back? What if I hadn't pulled back? I would have found myself catching feelings for this man, eventually thinking I'm in some type of a pseudo relationship because that's what they'll allow. They'll literally, you'll go down this path, ladies, where you're thinking you're in a relationship and now you're sleeping with him, you're dating him, you think this is exclusive. This is how women get their feelings hurt. This is how women, back to my videos about situationships, this is how women find themselves in situationships. You meet a man you really like, he's already put you into the friend zone, the friend category, the freak category. You're not aware of it. Thank you, Gregory. You're not aware of it. And at the end of the day, now you're all jacked up. And women have a tendency to go from one of these relationships to the next, to the next, to the next, because all you're going off of is who you like and who you're interested in. I'll tell you this, ladies, it almost doesn't matter who you like. It doesn't matter if you like them. Who likes you? Who's into you? Who is seeing you as you're there forever? Because like I say, as women, we get to choose who to date, but men choose who they marry. The man's putting a ring on it, not the woman. It does not matter who you like. Yeah, you may like them, but you don't do it for them. And that's where your ego has got to minimize, because you will get yourself into a lot of hurtful situations because your ego is saying, oh, he's into me. I like him. Oh my God, I'm so crazy about him. He's amazing. Your ego will lead you down a path of heartbreak and destruction because you're thinking just because you're so into him, that he's into you. And you're blinded to all the red flags, right? That he's really not consistent. He's already showing you he's not into you, right? But then here's the key, guys. This is when I stopped matchmaking. I've told you guys this before. I stopped matchmaking because I had a different standard for men than I realized that a lot of women had. A lot of single women have these standards that are crazy. And I met my husband, and when I was matchmaking, I realized that the women, my female clients, would have not even given my husband a chance. They wouldn't have dated him. And James, hold on. I'm going to come back to your question, James, or JM Fortune. I'm going to come back to that question. But I realized that because my husband is a good man, a solid man, right? A strong man. I mean, my husband, but literally, it was like I realized that's not what a lot of these women are looking for. And you know, I've done videos about this, about how women and their expectations of men have gotten so ridiculous. And like men, most women have a type also. Appearance is 70%. I agree. Women have a type too. However, this is what I realize, guys, is that a lot of the time women in our modern times, you guys have mixed up the categories of men. Just like men are putting you in the forever or the freaky friend category, women, you put playboys in the husband category, and you put husbands in the friend zone. Women mix up the categories. Women don't understand that men who are the players, men who are not seeing you as forever, you're talking about apples and oranges. Two totally different men. Just like how men say there's women you play with and then there's women you marry. It's the same for men. There's men you play with and there's men you marry. And a lot of the time I realize that other cultures kind of get this. I need you to hear me. Other cultures tend to get this. And when I say other cultures, I'm talking about white culture, Indian culture. I'm talking about other cultures other than African Americans. And a lot of the time what happens is you're mistaking the playboy for a husband, and you're trying to marry a playboy instead of marrying a husband. And that's a lot of women don't realize this. A lot of women don't realize this. And this is why you continue to have such horrible dating experiences, because you could be sitting there ignoring the husband material, ignoring the man that is already put you in his forever category, who would make an incredible husband, because you're looking at the guy who was the playboy. Do you know what I experienced a lot in the matchmaking, guys? I experienced women who had been dealing with these F-boys, dealing with these playboys, dealing with dudes who were just screwing them, dealing with dudes who, and now as a woman, in your mind, your ego plays these tricks on you, because men are different from women. A man will sleep with you, hang out with you, Netflix and chill with you, and you are not his type at all, but he enjoys the sex, he enjoys your company, he enjoys the fun. And now as a woman, you've put this type of man into the husband material. I would have women come to me as a matchmaker, and they're showing me pictures of their so-called exes. And the exes really weren't exes. The exes were situationships. The exes were literally men that they were just messing around with. They were never in committed relationships. And the reason they were coming to a matchmaker is because they're saying, in their mind, this is how they categorized it. They looked at the playboy and said, he just wasn't the one. He wasn't faithful. He wasn't ready to settle down. But Rebecca, as a matchmaker, I want you to find me the man who looks like Mr. Playboy, who wants to be loyal and faithful to me and committed to me, and find me my husband. But I want him to look like Mr. Playboy and act like Mr. Playboy. And that's when I stopped matchmaking. That's when I stopped. Because I'm like, women don't get it. You don't marry Playboy. Playboy would have never married you. Playboy never had forever intentions with you. Playboy never, ever, ever, ever was looking at you as a girlfriend. You were not being introduced to his mother. You were not walking down the street holding his hand. You were not even in a committed relationship with Mr. Playboy. But now you're coming and you want to come in to a matchmaking service, and you're wanting me to find the man that looks like Mr. Playboy, Mr. 6 foot whatever, Mr. Fine, Mr. whatever, Mr. Brilliant Smile, Mr. Charming, you know, and then want him to marry you and be serious about you. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Because honestly, I hate to say it to you ladies, he was already out of your league. He was only dealing with you for the fringe benefits of the sex, the food, the fun, the entertainment, the freaky friend. You were never his forever. You were never his forever. So then when a good guy comes along who's really in the husband category, you're rejecting him because you're comparing him to Mr. Gorgeous, Mr. Playboy. And no man is going to measure up, because a man who sees you as his forever has nothing in common with Mr. Gorgeous, Mr. Playboy. Nothing in common. And this is how our ego tricks us. And you'll be staying in your single category forever because you don't understand that your mind has played a trick on you. You're rejecting the good guys who are seeing you as forever because you're comparing him to Mr. Never had any intentions. Never, only wanted to screw you, only wanted to play with you, only wanted to have a toy for a minute. And now you're over here, have set your standards for dating based on the boy toy. Based on the boy toy. And I wanted to come on and say this because I want you, women, I want you to wise up. I want you to start dating smarter. For those of you who want to be married, I know everybody doesn't want to be married. I know that. But if you want to be married and you want to have a great life partner and you want to have a man that loves you and you love him, you have got to start vetting and discerning differently. You've got to start making different choices. You've got to understand that husbands and playboys are like apples and oranges. And you're going to have to retrain your brain to recognize a husband. Retrain your brain for that, to recognize the man who's going to be good to you, love you, be faithful. All men don't cheat. No, playboys cheat. Playboys have developed an appetite for sleeping with multiple women. So by the time they even try to settle down, they don't know how to be faithful. They don't know how to keep their dick in their pants. They don't know how to be with only one woman. They've developed a lifestyle. They've developed a habit, an appetite for variety, diversity, right? Because they have all these options. Because they're Mr. Gorgeous, Mr. It, Mr. 6 foot, Mr. 6 figure, Mr. 6 pack, Mr. whatever. Because he's all of that, he's developed habits and lifestyle around it. Seriously. So when it comes, you asked the question, I'm going to answer this question, then get off. You asked, is it better for a woman to love a man a little more? Or is it better for a man to love the woman a little more? In my experiences and what I've seen works really, really well for relationships to last is that there's mutual love. And then the man, he has to be with a woman who really, really does it for him. A man has to be able to wake up, for a woman to be his forever, and for a relationship to have longevity. A man has to be able to wake up and look at his wife and be like, oh my God, like, I'm so blessed. Because I'm talking about, and it comes more down to the visuals for men, and it has to go deeper into who she is and how she treats him. But he has to be able to look at his wife and say, oh my God, she is everything. Like sprung. For longevity, he has to be able to look at her and say, you've got to rock his world. You've got to be that everything to him, right? And literally, if she's that, then he's committing and he's treating her well, and he's always going to keep recommitting. Always be recommitting, right? Because, and then this is also how some men find themselves in really horrible situations, because they'll be so caught up on the visuals and so caught up on how beautiful she is, and he's so into her because of the visuals. And next thing you know, a man has caught feelings for a woman who may not have the intrinsic values that he needs. She may not have the heart, the spirit, the mind, the compassion, for what he needs for longevity. But now he finds himself in a situation, because men make bad choices too, ladies. They That's right. Then she cheats. Yep. Or then she's abusing him, mistreating him, taking him for granted, abusing his kindness, taking his kindness for weakness, right? That's where you find a lot of really, really good men find themselves in that situation, following after looks. When men don't vet enough for intrinsic value. That's what men don't do. They don't vet enough for internal value. Their eye is so attracted to physical first, and then they'll be trying to make her be the woman that she needs to be on the inside, right? But women are looking for how they're treated. Yes, a lot of women have become so visual as well, but as you mature, the truth is, it's as you mature, right? I love anybody who's followed me or watched me for any amount of time knows how much I love my husband, right? I love Carrie Pope. I will cut you over Carrie Pope, right? But I was mature in that decision. I was mature in who I chose to marry. I was mature in choosing a good husband, a man who works hard and loves me to pieces, right? We are in this cycle, this positive reinforcement cycle of loving on each other and doing for each other and pleasing each other, right? And there's a beautiful thing when you come together with someone and you're always want them to be happy, right? You always are investing in their happiness, their joy, their well-being. You're always looking to please them. And when you get in that, oh my God, right? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I gotta run, but listen, start dating smarter. Start dating smarter, right? Start vetting, discerning. Start asking questions. Start asking God, show me this man's intentions towards me. Am I his forever, or am I his freaky friend? He trying to make me his freaky friend, or am I his forever? These are the things you need to know, and pay attention to actions. I knew Carrie was different from day one. I knew he was different early on. Why? His actions. His actions. He was showing me. He was literally starting to occupy all my time, taking me off the market. How about a forever freaky friend? That's me and Carrie Kwame, forever freaky friends. It's everything in one. Amen. That's how it is when it's really, really good, right? But listen, ladies, you've got to start to date differently. Give the cute, good guy a shot. He doesn't have to be like the playboy you dated before. Give the cute, good guy a shot. Open up your heart to the cute, good guy. Not the player, not the playboy, the cute, good guy. Look at his values. Look at how he treats his mama. Look at how he lives his life. Look at his values, his morals, his conduct, his code of honor, right? He's got an honor code. Good men have an honor code. Good men live their lives by a code of honor, that they are trying to always do the right thing. They're not perfect, but their intentions are good. Their heart is good. Anyway, I love you guys. Mwah. Blessings in abundance. I got to get to work. I just wanted to come on really quickly and talk about this subject because it is really on my heart. And I really want you to understand that men make up their minds really quickly. And you need to know what his decision is. You need to know how he sees you. Ask questions. Pay attention to your gut. Listen to discernment. So you stop wasting your time with dudes who are trying to waste your time. If you're looking for commitment, you're looking for love in marriage, start vetting. Start vetting and give the cute, good guy a chance. Give him a shot. He could be looking at you like you're his forever and ready to treat you like an absolute queen. But literally, I'll do another video on questions. Okay, I'll do another video on vetting questions. I already went over my 30 minutes, guys. Love you. Blessings in abundance. Love you to pieces, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.